I am Nick Shell, the true alpha male, the living legend of hair loss and your personal hairline hero. Man, I've done this video so many times, as is the case with every video ever on here. Over 3,000 hair loss videos. I say the same thing over and over on rotation. New people show up, I make the same video again, and no one seems to mind. They just keep watching the video anyway. This is a prime example of it. So on a comment on a video I made called Receding Hairline and Not Getting Respect, DubGrug89 had this to say, quote, video idea, the correlation between porn addiction and the inability to deal with hair loss, it is high. And that was left 14 hours ago in real time. 2 people gave that a thumbs up, and one of those was not me. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about pornography. So assuming you don't know this about me, I'm one of the few males in the universe who has never seen pornography before. Like as far as like a video, like a pornographic video, I've never seen one. As far as like a pornographic magazine, someone like shoved one in my face one time when I was in 6th grade, and as soon as I realized what it was, I like kind of swatted it away. I was like, because even, see, that's one of the best things about me being young, is I was smart enough to know that pornography is toxic. Keep in mind, because you're going to be tempted, this is not a religious video. I am not telling you that it is sinful to consume pornography. Maybe I think that, but that's not what I'm telling you. I'm telling you the thing you should actually worry about is how it messes with your brain. How in the world, think about this, how in the world, on a daily basis, as a younger, see, my generation didn't have access to free porn floating around all the time like you do. And if you're a teenager and you grow up that way with free porn everywhere, like, what's that? It's like bats, but it's like porn bats. Hashtag porn bats. So if you have porn bats flying around all the time, and as you're understanding more about sex and all that stuff, and then you are, how do we put it, fapping to the porn that's all around you, the porn bats, and then it like poops on you, and then it turns into COVID-19. Reference to Contagion that I finally saw for the first time, and man, what a prophecy. That movie, made 9 years ago, it's what we're living in right now with COVID-19. So as far as pornography goes, if your introduction to what sex is all about based on pornography, and just nonstop on a loop, like as much as you can handle, and that's what's going on, do you really think that that's not going to be like you're sexually abused? It is going to be like you're sexually abused. Imagine if you got a kid, and let's say a 7-year-old boy, and you gave him a Playboy magazine. I know they don't actually print them anymore, but imagine you hand him one and say, hey, take a look at this, enjoy. Don't you think that's kind of messed up? But see, why is it any different if you're a teenager? Why is it any different if you're 13 in this conversation, or 15? And then you're constantly consuming, probably the videos, actually more than that. Do you not realize how that's going to mess you up? And let me say the obvious too. So you're being exposed to all this before you actually do the thing yourself, before you are actually in a physical relationship with someone, and then that's your version of what it's supposed to be. So how in the world are you going to have a realistic concept of what the actual thing really is without it being a completely self-centered thing, which is going to totally make it a bad thing in more ways than one. So yeah, so by default, if you watch porn, you're addicted to it. It's one of those instant things. It's like meth. You're instantly addicted to it. You're not just like, yeah. See, people who defend porn, what do they say? It's fine every once in a while. There's no every once in a while with porn. When you have it flying around like bats, it's going to be a daily thing. And that's going to alter how you think. It's going to toxify your mind. Now, let's talk about hair loss. Yes, this is a video about hair loss. It is. It took me 4 minutes to get there. But imagine, the real issue with hair loss is not that people don't like you because you're bald. It's because you're so insecure focusing on your perceived imperfection that you can't see value that other people see, which is the actual things that makes them attracted to you. So imagine watching all this porn, not understanding how sex actually works, just watching this weird fantasy version constantly. And then you think, well, I'm no good. Look, I'm balding. I don't see many bald guys in those porno videos. It completely rewires you into what I truly believe is it's like being sexually abused as a child to some degree. I really do believe that. So the point is this: find a way to completely get rid of the pornography. Now, am I one of those people who's all about the nofap? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is no porn. There's a difference. I am not a nofap person. Oh, you should be nofap. Nope, I'm not one of those people. I'm saying pornography. Can you separate the two? Because that's the only thing I care about you getting rid of in your life is the pornography. That's the problem. The pornography. Oh, but Nick, there's so many definitions of pornography. What if someone goes to Rome and they see a naked statue of a lady? No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Not the new generation, the young generation who have been watching pornographic videos or just constantly, they can Google whatever they want on Pornhub or however, I don't know how it works. That is not the same as, I remember having a friend in high school. I remember Titanic came out when I was in high school. And I had a friend who admitted to me he had a VHS of Titanic. And he would pause about halfway through the movie, if you know what I'm talking about, and you do. He would pause this one scene on a daily basis, if you know what I mean. And he admitted to me he wore out that part of the tape. I should have presented this as a joke because it's kind of hilarious. So in his VHS tape of Titanic, if you tried to just watch it normally through and you got that part with Kate Winslet taking off her top, it would go, it would like cut because he wore that off because he paused it so many times. That's a true story about a guy I grew up with, and he admitted that to me back when we were in high school. So yes, I get it, you can make pornography about anything. But now more than ever, porn is everywhere in the air, and it's going to get into your brain. Don't believe me? Fine. Prove it by not watching any more of my videos, because I'm convinced that a younger generation who has ultimately been sexually abused, which they opened the door by going to porn. Maybe they didn't know any better. Maybe they didn't have a dad like me, because I'm basically your internet dad. They didn't have an internet dad like me to say, hey, that's not a cool thing. You do not want that. That's opening up a toxic door. You're going to psychologically be held back. You're not going to be successful in life because you're going to be so focused. You're going to be like the guys on my channel who are in their 30s still watching hair loss videos. Go away. Stop watching my videos if you're in your 30s. You should be focused on maturing. See, that's the thing. It really sets you back from a maturity perspective. It really does. It keeps you from maturing and psychologically developing the way you should. And then you end up being 34 years old or 30 years old or whatever it is. In your 30s, maybe older than me, even though I'm turning 39. So you'd have to be in your 40s almost to be older than me at this point. You shouldn't be watching my videos. You should have grown up by now. And I would actually venture to say that people who are in their 30s and above that still watch my videos about hair are probably the people still addicted to porn. Translation, consuming porn on a daily basis. Even then, oh, it's not every day. Oh, every other day. No, it's every fifth Saturday. Okay, that's weird and very specific. So there you go. There's my newest video, my 2020 video about pornography. And man, I've made a long video talking about this, and I'm not even gonna make money from this because YouTube automatically censors or demonetizes videos. And I'm tempted to just put censored in the title, but I want people who are actually dealing with this to be able to find this video about it. So there you go. Imagine this, one of the few videos on YouTube from a guy who's saying porn is toxic, and that's the whole approach here. And yes, it's only going to make you internalize your perceived hair loss as an even worse thing, when really people aren't judging you on that. They're judging you on how you relate to them and make them feel good about themselves, and use your skill set to make them laugh and help them and make them feel better about their own insecurities, etc. But you'll never get to that degree because you won't be mature enough to realize it's not about you. But with pornography, it always is, isn't it? It's definitely about you. Well, I mean, we definitely don't even have a conversation too about who are the women in those anyway. Well, even if they're not being forced into it because they were in the sex slave industry, still they were in a very desperate situation for money, and they're actually having sex with multiple people all the time, and that's its whole other thing. But it's, again, it's all about you, right? So who cares about all those other things? It's all about you. Or is it? When you start growing up and maturing, you realize, oh, it's not about me. It's about everybody else on the planet, and they like me more if I make my life about them instead of pleasing myself. Pun intended, or is that more than obvious? I'm gonna end this video. Your comments belong right here.